Andre Petroski. How you doing, brother?
Doing well, brother. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Well, you're having me. I'm in your gym. I'm at Marquez MMA. Daniel Gracie, obviously, best gym in Philadelphia. In my opinion, the best gym in MMA. But haters still got to learn. Thank you so much for your time. It's fight week, my man. How you feeling?
I feel good, healthy, excited to fight, eager.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been a long time coming. When was the last time you fought?
May, so it's been a good almost 6 months.
Yeah, man. And I mean, we haven't talked since you fought or grappled at Fury 5 against Eric Anders. You beat him, obviously.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was good. It was another feather in my cap, another notch on my belt. That was kind of like a little more personal, just because he had beat one of my old coaches, but it was, couldn't ask for more. It was a flawless finish, and it got the job done.
Dominated him, fair to say. No, I interviewed Eric too. He was a cool guy. And
Yeah.
He had nothing but good things to say about you. But yeah, I didn't tell him, but I told you. I was like, yeah, you're gonna get the dub. So easy. So like otherwise, how's the fam been, man? How's Riley doing? Everything?
Everyone's doing good. Everyone's healthy. Yeah.
You guys go out for Halloween?
Yeah, we did.
What do you guys dress up as?
So my daughter was a witch and I was a clown.
Oh, dude, a clown.
Yeah.
Not my thing. Scares me. So, is she like 4 now?
She'll be 4 in August.
Is she gonna start grappling?
Yeah. So she's always at the gym. She was actually sitting through one of my workouts on Saturday for the first time. She was able to actually like sit there and not get up and interrupt. So she'll pick things up just from watching. She, like, even if we're doing warm-ups and I'm bear crawls, like she'll do little stuff. She can sprawl and circle up. Like, yeah, she's slowly getting into it, but next year she'll start taking classes.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just from when I was wrestling, anybody that wrestled since when they were like 4 years old, they always mauled me. So get her started young, man.
Yeah, it's a good base to start with.
Oh yeah, for sure. Other than that, man, it's fight week. UFC 281, November 12th at freaking Madison Square Garden. Last time we talked, you told me, you were like, dude, I really want to get a Madison Square Garden fight. You got it, dude. Like, are you so excited? What are you most excited for fighting there?
Yeah, I mean, just the whole environment and being able to, for the first time since I've been in the UFC, is being able to have like my friends and family and my fans be able to come and watch me fight. Like that's awesome. It's been a long time since I've been able to hear my fans during a fight. So that, along with, in addition to being at MSG, which is like such a historic venue, and one that I've been to. I wrestled there in 2013, and then I was there for Dillashaw Garbrandt, which was electric. So it's definitely a memorable and a special time.
Yeah, dude, MSG is great. I'm going to be there, way up in the nosebleeds. Couldn't get the credentials, but I'm excited. So you bringing a lot of friends, family, stuff like that?
Yeah. We got a good group of people coming. So, the support has been very humbling.
So, I mean, obviously, Madison Square Garden is amazing. Historic, as you're saying. You're super excited to fight there. But, we're in Philadelphia. When the hell is UFC coming to Philly?
I think that they were getting closer to coming to the Wells Fargo Center, and then they brought back the mask mandate for like a week, and that kind of kept the UFC kind of like hesitant to come back. But sure. I think it's coming soon. We have a lot more guys in the UFC doing well now, so I think that between Philly and New York and Jersey, like it's inevitable.
Yeah, I would hope so, man. I mean, the Philly fight cards in the past have been great, and obviously Philly's putting out a show with every sporting event that's televised. So Dana White, come on, bring it here, brother.
Yeah, right.
So as I mentioned, we're at Daniel Gracie, Marquez MMA. You train with some of the most ruthless killers in the UFC. Pat Sabatini, Joe Pyfer, Jeremiah Wells, Sean Brady, who's standing over there. Like, how is the energy of camp when there are so many big fights going on? You have your fight scheduled, Sean Brady just fought, Pyfer fought, Sabatini fought. Like, is the energy different when you have a bunch of big fights scheduled opposed to like a slower season, so to speak?
I just think it's just normal now, like every month, every week, there's a big fight, you know what I mean? So it's just like, we're used to it. Like the idea of competition and the idea of, like competing on big scales and fighting the best in the world it's just normal now. And even like the younger guys coming up, I think that they're more comfortable with it because they've been a part of these camps where our teammates and other guys have done the same things.
Sure, and I mean, you guys started out 15-0 in the UFC. Obviously, you're going to get the attention and the top-level fights you deserve. But how was camp overall, man? Good camp? Do you have a full, healthy camp and everything?
Yeah, for sure. It was good. Just a lot of the same stuff. Doing a lot more like swimming and different forms of conditioning. And I think it's helped me tremendously. Yeah.
So weight cut going good and everything?
Weight cut's good. Everything's been almost too perfect.
Hey, knock on some wood, because that's great, man. That's absolutely great to hear. Glad you can have a full camp of straight healthiness and going in on the scales looking good. Last week, 5 fighters missed weight, so glad to hear you're being professional about it. Another thing I've noticed about this gym is Mr. Paul Felder has been back in training a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, is he coming back?
I mean, he looks super lean right now. He's definitely in shape, and I mean, I think that he's has obviously all the abilities if he ever wanted to. I don't know if he wants to or not. Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I saw him hitting the Thai
pads.
But
if he ever wants to, he's obviously he knows that he can.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw him hitting the Thai pads last week. I was like, whew, bah, bah, crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit nervous to ask this question because I'm looking at Sean Brady right now, and I'm sure Pat may be here somewhere, but obviously Sean and Pat are coming off of their first losses in UFC. Sean's first loss ever. Sean looks pretty good. He looks like he's warming up, ready to go. But how are they handling those losses? I mean, based on what I've seen in the media, they seem to be doing fine, almost like extra motivation. But how has it been in the gym for you guys to take your first UFC losses?
Yeah, I think they're all learning experiences. I think that, especially with Sean, like it sucks when you have to learn those lessons on such a big scale, the big stage. But I think that is kind of where you do want to some point, I think that's where you do want to take those lessons. Like if you're going to lose, like lose on a big scale, sure. Make it, it's important to get there, you know what I mean? So I think that Sean and Pat both took a lot from their losses, and they're young and they'll be back, you know what I mean? Pat has lost before, but I mean, they're some of the most talented fighters on our team, and they're our leaders, you know what I mean? So they'll show how you handle defeat and come back stronger.
No doubt, man. And respect to both of them, even in the losses. I mean, the Sean Brady Bilal fight was very entertaining up until the finish. So absolutely love those guys, and it was great to meet them this morning. Now about you, Saturday night, you're going to be standing across from Wellington Turman. What are your thoughts on him as an opponent?
I think he's a tough kid. I think he comes from a good camp. He's got good people around him. But I just think stylistically wise, like I'm just a terrible matchup for him. My grappling's better, my striking's better. It's just, I don't see where he can take this fight.
I mean, I was gonna say, based on what I've seen from him in the past, he goes for the grappling attacks. Bad idea against you.
Yeah.
And his gas tank is iffy.
Right.
And I know you've been really working on that. So like stylistically, you think you have all the ups here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we could see from the Maximov fight, like how shooting on me goes. So, his only real bet is to keep it standing. And we've seen his cardio get tested over and over. I know that I've put a lot of time into my striking, especially in this camp. And I'm excited. I'm excited to display all the things that I've been working on since before the Maximov fight. I did a full 8-week camp for the Maximov fight of working on different things that I never got to show because the fight was 70 seconds long. So, all those things that I've been working that I've carried into this camp is just, it's been really a year of working on the things that I thought that I was lacking in those first 2 UFC fights.
So, you have 3 finishes out of 3 wins in the UFC, but it almost sounds like you kind of want this fight to go into deep waters maybe, so you can get some experience and show to everybody, you're not just a first-round guy and that maybe you want to put all your work to the test for a full 15 minutes?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've already shown that that I'm dangerous from the first 70 seconds to the last 9 seconds was the Abu Dhabi finish. So, I have 100% finish rate for a reason. And that's because I can finish you in the first minute or the last minute, and that's something that you don't see very often.
100%, man, and like you said, you've done both in the UFC. Do you have a prediction for this fight without giving too much away?
I just don't see it making the third round.
Okay. Love that, man. Love that energy. Another question I have for you here is, obviously GM3 was like the guy who everyone was like, Andre versus Mearshart. How did Turman come out of this? How did that happen? Did GM3 dodge you?
Mearshart, I don't know if it was the UFC or if it was him himself, but they wanted more time. He had just fought. He fought and then called me out and then was like, whether it was him or the UFC, they wanted more time. They weren't ready. November 12th was too soon for them. So, we'll see. I think he's fighting in January or December. I
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's definitely a fight that I want. It's a guy with the most submissions in the division. And, I want to prove that I'm the best grappler in this division. So submitting a guy who has the most submissions, now I'm the best.
Absolutely, man. And I love that fight, but I still love the Turman fight this weekend. Can't wait. Right now you're sitting at as a minus 200 favorite. I think this is the first time in the UFC that you've actually been a favorite. I think you're 3-0 as an underdog. So do you like those odds? How does that feel to be a favorite finally?
I love being an underdog, but yeah, I've been here before. I've been the favorite many times in my career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know what it's like. I've been here before.
So are you pissed off? Dana said fighters can't bet anymore, coaches can't bet anymore.
Yeah, for sure. I've made some good money on betting in the past.
I know you have. You said that before.
So that was a tough pill to swallow.
And you know how I feel. I think anybody should be able to bet on themselves money line. It's just extra incentive to win, really. But I don't know if you've seen all the James Krause stuff going on recently. Some shady stuff going on.
Yeah. So he has his own betting website.
Yeah, he has his own betting website, and he or Reddit forum or something, and puts out bets just to his followers and all that. But Derek Minner, the odds changed last weekend like crazy before the first round. Everybody started betting against him knockout in the first round, and James Krause is in his corner. He goes out there clearly injured right off the bat. So everybody's like, whoa, did James Krause know something? Did he tell his followers something?
Yeah.
So UFC launched an investigation today, but.
Did he get knocked out in the first?
Derek Minner got a TKO finish in the first, but it was his knee, very clearly at the beginning of the fight, was buckled. Injury going into it.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different guy. I was thinking of someone else.
Well, this was last weekend, a bunch of drama right now. So maybe Dana had a point with banning the betting, but I know that's got to piss you off.
Yeah. I've made good money, especially off my team, for sure.
Yeah.
When Jeremiah submitted that blood diamond, that was a big payday.
I cashed on that one too.
Yeah, that was an easy one. I honestly, a guy with no grappling against a black, Jeremiah's a striker, but he's a Renzo Gracie black belt. So.
Yeah. So Andre, this is your 4th UFC fight. I know a lot of people when they sign to the UFC, they sign a 4-contract deal.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to tell me, is this your last fight?
So I came in on the Ultimate Fighter contract, which was 6 fights.
Money.
Yeah. So. Which is not great because now I'm still on the same contract. But look, if I go out there and do what I should do this weekend and get a 4th finish, that's 4 fights, 4 finishes, 2 on short notice. It's undeniable that I wouldn't deserve a new contract.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And the UFC is known for giving people contracts on when they still have fights left.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. Go out there and do your thing. So I don't want to make you look ahead of your opponent here. I know you got a lot on your mind, but if you're able to at all, what's next after Turman? I know you mentioned maybe GM3, but you got to think 4 finishes and 4 fights. You get a ranked opponent, right?
Yeah, I would love if it's not someone in the top 25. Give me Bo Nickel. Give me Mearshart. Mearshart's up there too, but. Yeah, if not, I want to travel. I know that there's 2 international fight weeks next year. One's in South Korea in February. I know that there's a fighter in the top 25 from South Korea. So, I'm not doing anything in February. You know what I mean? So
sign my man Andre up for UFC South Korea. Love it, dude. I don't love those South Korea cards. Like waking up at 2 a.m. and watching all morning.
Yeah,
it'd be cool to be over there. So, as we were talking right now, you're a fan of the sport, obviously, as well as a fighter. You're sharing the card with so many great fights, probably the card of the year. Who are you most excited for? What other fights are you looking forward to?
On this card?
On UFC 281.
Yeah, obviously I always have my eyes on my division. So
the belt.
The Adesanya and Pereira fight is interesting to me. I think just from watching it, like Adesanya is just such a more technical fighter.
Yeah.
And I guess just like fundamentally more sound from what I see. So, I mean, it just shocks me that he's lost twice already. So I'm interested to see if he can make the adjustments, you know, and yeah, I always have my eye on my division for sure.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's a great fight, and you could easily be fighting one of them one day for that belt.
If anyone misses weight, you know, I'm here.
He's on weight.
Hell yeah.
So are you going to stay at MSG after your fight and watch, or how does that work? Do you go back to the hotel?
I think we're supposed to be escorted out, but yeah, maybe I'll.
But maybe something
We'll see what happens.
Hey, worst case scenario.
If I disappear, I disappear.
Come sit in the nosebleeds with me, bro. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Philly sports this year.
Yeah.
Phillies in the World Series, unfortunately lost. Eagles 8-0. Sixers hopefully turning around. You buzzing off the Philly vibes?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like the first time in a while that like the Eagles, that more than one team has been killing it. So I don't like remember that. I remember like 2 weeks ago, all four teams like won.
Yeah.
It was like the Flyers, the Sixers, the Eagles, and the Phillies all won. And I don't ever remember that. So it's cool to see just like Philly in general doing well.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So lately it's been all about, you know, the robberies and all the crime and shit and fucking the masks and the vaccine. Now it's like, for once, it's like refreshing to see like, all right, like maybe there's some positivity. Like all the sports teams are killing it. You know what I mean? The fighters are killing it. Boxing's killing it. All the athletes from Philadelphia are doing big things.
And yeah, I mean, this gym is doing great things too. Now let me ask you this ridiculous question. Sports God comes down from the sky. He greets you in the middle of the night. He says, Andre, if you lose on Saturday, the Eagles will go 18-0 and win the Super Bowl. Do you say deal or no deal?
No deal. Hell no.
I respect that answer. I was hoping you'd say that. I'd be like, oh no, come on.
Nah, I can't lie to you.
We don't love the birds that much. No, man, love that answer. So Andre, we've been talking here 20 minutes. I really appreciate your time again. I know you got to get the training. Before we get out of here, I just want to give you the opportunity. UFC 281, biggest card of the year, possibly a lot of eyes on the fight. You already have all your friends, family, supporters, and fans. You have anything to say to everybody? The mic is yours.
Yeah, just tune in November 12th. Come watch my team dominate as always, and we're coming to show and we're coming to impress.
Yes, sir. Andre Petroski ahead of UFC 281, November 12th, ESPN Plus and pay-per-view. Going to beat Wellington Turman. And a lot of these Philly fighters have a CFFC event coming up shortly after, too. Andre, again, thank you, sir. Can't wait to see you.
Which I will be commentating, by the way.
Oh, you're commenting on 116?
Yeah, Mississippi.
Oh, you're going on Mississippi.
Yeah.
Because they're coming up here for 116 again and doing that, right?
In Atlantic City.
Yeah.
I'll be cornering there.
Well, I'll see you there, too. But again, Andre, thank you. Kick ass this weekend and go train, bro.
Appreciate it, brother.